So I've been using the Native Instruments Komplete Kontrol S61 keyboard for quite a while now. It's my first 61 key MIDI keyboard. It's also my first keyboard with aftertouch, and it is definitely the nicest keyboard I've ever used, and also the most expensive keyboard I've ever used. I want to talk about what it's like to use this device and if it's still worth it in the year 2022. Full disclosure, the keyboard was provided by Native Instruments. However, they did not sponsor this video, and they don't have any oversight or review on my thoughts here. These are all my own opinions. However, this video is sponsored by the good folks at DistroKid, and I'll talk about them more in a little bit. So the first thing I really like about this keyboard is its integration with the Machine Plus and Machine in general. Now, to be clear, you can use this keyboard with all sorts of DAWs, including Ableton, which is my favorite DAW. It also supports Logic and a few others as well. My only experience using it with a DAW is in either Machine or in Ableton. In Ableton, you use the Komplete Kontrol plugin, and then you have a ton of control over different parameters of Native Instruments software and other software that supports the NKS standard. Because of the quality of the keys themselves, the size of the keyboard, and the nature of its integration with the NKS platform, which includes the Arturia V collection, the S61 has actually replaced my trusty Keylab Essential 49 as well. Before I dive too deep into why this keyboard is so awesome in the year 2022, let's talk about DistroKid. I've been using DistroKid as far back as 2014 because I truly do believe it is the best service to use to get your music on Spotify, Apple Music, Tidal, and many other places where people can find, buy, or stream your music. I have a link in the description and pinned in a comment that will get you 7% off your first year of DistroKid. I also get a fee when you use that, which is great at no cost to you. And so it's kind of a win-win for both of us. So DistroKid has actually asked me to tell you about a few different new features they've rolled out. Under this Goodies tab here, you actually have a few different things you can do, and these are actually built into the platform itself. Protect Your Music is a feature I didn't even know about until recently called Distro Lock, where you can lock down your music to stop people from being able to upload your songs, which is awesome. In general, it's just peace of mind for your own music uploads. I'd like to believe that everyone out there is cool and wouldn't do something like that, but in the off chance they would, it's good to know you're protected with Distro Lock. There are also some awesome ways to promote yourself. I like to use Hyperfollow, which you may have heard of before. They also have promo cards, and you can make these on the mobile version of the website too, which is cool. So if I go to my album, There's Something Better, I can generate different promo cards that'll showcase your new release. So for example, if I like this high-rise one, I can long hold it, go down and save to photos, and now I've got that promo card to use whenever I want. You can also create little mini videos, which they have different generated backgrounds that show your art and play your song. So I can pick a song, let's say There's Something Better off of my album, can choose an announcement, let's say Listen Here, and we'll generate a mini video. I've actually done this before, so while that's generating, let's check out one I did for Balcony. These goodies are just a great way of either protecting your music or sharing it with new people. You can also use DistroKid to get an official YouTube artist channel. I've actually done this, so if you look for my music on YouTube, it doesn't come up under this profile because I use this one for uploading my regular videos, but I do have an official YouTube channel that I was able to set up using DistroKid. And this section is called Goodies for a reason because the core service is already awesome, and these are just additional add-ons that add to the value, and they're included with your basic membership. I've had an awesome time using the service over the years, and I hope you'll check it out as well using my link below. Thank you again, DistroKid, and let's talk more about this keyboard. So as you can see right now, I have this plugged into the Machine Plus, which is right here behind me, and it is essentially showing us a bunch of information you would also see on the machine screen as well. So if I wanted to, I can actually control different parameters of different instruments. I can swap between tracks, and then browse and load up different tracks as well. And you can be doing different things on the different screens. So as a companion device to the Machine Plus or Machine in general used with your computer, I find it just a really great way to be able to play notes in. I am someone who likes to play my notes in live, and so I have really enjoyed the experience of using these keys. This keyboard and this key bed is just the nicest experience I've had. When you hit the keys, they actually light up the individual keys. And there's also actually different modes. If you want to, you can choose your scale, and then you'll be playing keys that are only in that scale. That's similar to some of the Novation keyboards as well, but it is just an additional feature that's awesome to have here on this device. You're also able to go into the same mixer view if you're plugged into Machine, and if you're plugged into a DAW, it'll show you the mixer information for the DAW. As I talked about in my Arturia Keylab Essential 49 video a while back, I just really like devices that turn software into more of a hardware feeling. And because the Arturia V collection is integrated as an NKS, which is essentially just like a software wrapper for the VST, you're able to load those up into this keyboard as well and edit parameters the same way you might on the Arturia keyboard. Because of that, you essentially get the benefit of the Arturia keyboard as well as the benefit of using those same types of granular control with the Native Instruments plugins as well. I originally wanted it just to use it with the Machine Plus, but it's become such a mainstay that I also use it with the MPC Live, where I do just use it for node entry because it doesn't have the same kind of parameter control out of the box. But using it with Ableton or using it with the machine software, I then get even more access to plugins and even more control, which I really enjoy. So let's check it out plugged into my computer, running in tandem with the machine, and we'll check it out running in Ableton. So I've got Ableton up here right now, and you'll see that the keyboard itself is not really showing any special interface yet, but if I open up a plugin called Complete Control, I bring it to the first MIDI track, now I should have a little bit more power over what I want to do here. So if I hit browse, I can go through different Native Instruments plugins, but you can also check out Arturia plugins as well. So, you know, the CMI5, or V rather, DX7, and like I said in my Keylab Essential video, having just these classic synths in this form is really cool. If I load one up, it's super quick, and we have parameter control similar to what we would have on the Keylab Essential. Let's go back to all and check out ignition keys. And we have that parameter control in the Play Series instruments that you see on the screen as well. And we have that right here via these control knobs, but we're still in Ableton. So in session view here, if we wanted to, we have the metronome going. We could and so it recorded that performance and it recorded the knob because I have automation enabled. And so the biggest thing for me is the variety of the types of sounds you can use here between the many available sounds in Complete 14, as well as the Arturia V collection. So if we go into the effects panel here, we can see that we have tons of different effects, including Native Instruments effects and isotope effects, as well as some waves sounds, which is awesome. And then we can go back into our instrument as well, just toggling this way. And so yeah, it's really just the amount of control, no pun intended, that you have over all these different sounds and over your DAW that makes this such a cool setup. So if I load up another Complete Control over here, I can then set up different sounds on this one. I'll use some 40 zone keys. And then I can switch back over to ignition keys. And I'm still wrapping my head around some of this, but it is just super cool to have all of this control within Ableton with these different plugins. And then if you want to take it into the machine environment, you can do that as well. If you're enjoying the video so far, consider liking and subscribing. To everyone who's already done that, thank you so much. We passed 6,000 subscribers recently, which is just unbelievable. And I'm eternally grateful to anyone who does that and who watches these videos. So now we can see the machine is loaded up, and I did recently make a song using this setup. Let's see what it sounds like. You may recognize this from another video I did recently. But if we want to start something new, we can go to File here, New, Discard. We don't need to make any changes. And now we have dual control here. So I can choose my groups, can browse for different sounds, different instruments. And we have the same NKS plugins that we had in Ableton, but it's an even smoother experience because we're looking at the mixer now for Machine, similar to when we're plugged into the Machine Plus, but with the added benefit, obviously, of the hardware power of my computer and the huge variety of plugins available. Let's try Ashlight. and we can immediately just have something else. Load a battery kit up. And then immediately just go back over to Ashlight. Overall, I'm just really impressed with this keyboard. Again, thank you to Native Instruments for sending it over with that in mind. Obviously, my experience might be different from someone who paid the full price for this, so just recognize that. I didn't have to spend the money on it, but I would probably spend the money on this. I think it's such a versatile, powerful, all-in-one device. And again, it's just a MIDI keyboard. Every now and then someone will comment on the Keylab Essential video, oh, can I just route sound out of the keyboard? No, this is a MIDI keyboard. It just creates MIDI data, but it is such a smart, intelligent interface that it does feel like an instrument when you have it plugged into something that supports it. So anyway, thank you again for watching. I'll catch you soon. Thank you to my patrons, and thank you again to DistroKid for sponsoring. All right, I'll see you soon. Bye.